Guys, once again we are live, baby, from amazing Lilius Parnat, and I wanted to do this live because today we're gonna talk about belts. Many of you probably know already that I got my black belt last Saturday, and today I was teaching my first class as a black belt. So I want to do this video so we can talk a little bit about the belts and what the belts mean to us, and are the belts important? Alright guys, first of all, I have my old belts here, so let's start with the white belt. Okay, this was my first white belt. I started jiu-jitsu, this is Coral's white belt, so I started my jiu-jitsu journey 2012, and I went to my first jiu-jitsu gym in 2013, but I basically started to study the art already 2012, because I wanted to be ready. I remember I was studying the art like almost 6-7 months before I went to my first class, because I wanted to know already the positions when I go in, because I was thinking about that will give me some kind of edge. So I already know in my first class I knew all the positions and names and stuff like that. But this is my first white belt, and as you can see it has seen some stuff. So this was Coral white belt, and I actually like the belt a lot because it was like sturdy knot, so I like it a lot. So this was my first white belt, Coral white belt. And then next one, this was also Coral's belt, and this was my blue belt. And as you can see also a lot of miles also on this one. And actually I was a little bit more than 3 years white belt, and also 3 years as a blue belt. So this was my, and actually when I arrived in this gym in Lilius Parnat, I was a 2-stripe blue belt, and I'm not sure, that was maybe 6 or 7 years ago about. But yeah, this is my blue belt. And then my purple belt, also Coral's belt. So this is my purple belt, and purple I only get 1 stripe, and then I got my brown belt. So, but this was my purple belt, also really important belt. And here was my brown belt, what was thrown away last Saturday, and here is my black belt. And guys, let's talk a little bit about the belts. So for me, maybe the most important belt is the white belt, because then you are doing something, you get your ass off the sofa and you're gonna start to train. So white belt, most important belt, because when you put this on, you made a decision that you're gonna do something, you're gonna make an effort. Okay, so white belt really important. And I think in white belt, what you need to have before you get to the blue belt, in my mind, I believe that you should have like the basic game already there. So what I mean, let's say 5 main positions. I have talked this a lot. So my system of blueprint. So you should have, for example, 5 main positions and 2 moves from top and bottom. So for example, if you are close guard, bottom, you should have like 1 solid sweep, or maybe 2 sweeps and 1 attack. And if you're in top position, you should have like 2 ways how you're gonna get away from that and pass the guard, because you are not gonna start to submit people from the close guard top position when you're a white belt. That's just not smart. Okay, so that kind of base game, so you have every position, you have something, so you're not lost in the sea when you are rolling, you know. I think that's the most important thing, because then when you go to your blue belt, then you have already the understanding of the game. Even if you're win or lose, it doesn't matter. But in every position, you have something where to go, okay? So for example, if you're in the turtle position, you have something what you are trying to do. Not like, okay, now I'm lost, I have no idea what I'm going to do, okay? So that's why we build this kind of a base structure game, so then you have always something what you can try. And in a blue belt, you should be already have like solid basics. And in blue belt level, I started to kind of find my attacks, what I started to use a lot. So for example, in blue belt level, I started to use my baseball choke, okay? So of course, every attack what you are gonna be good, it takes a lot of time before you're gonna master it, okay? So I was doing this baseball choke maybe, let's say 1.5 years all the time, but everybody was arm barring me, bam, 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 left and right. But it doesn't matter, you don't give up. You just need to grind it, and find those few good attacks what you're gonna have. So for me, it was the baseball choke and all kinds of you know, chokes from the bottom also, because for example, close guard, just cross chokes and stuff like that. So but start to polish your game and start to find those stuff that works for you, and repeat those. If you find success in baseball choke, don't give up. Just make everybody tap with that and make that your best weapon, because then always when you go for your grips, for example, people start to react, okay? They start to panic immediately when you have those grips, so that will open another doors for you. So you don't need to use it all the time, but when you go for it, people start to react, and then we're gonna have some other openings. So, but yeah, blue belt is a big belt, and usually blue belt and the kind of the switching when you go from blue belt to purple belt, usually that's quite a big step, okay? So, and most of you guys, most of jiu-jitsu people, they quit as a blue belt, but we are not gonna do that, so fuck that. We're gonna go until the end, baby. Purple belt. Purple belt in my mind is the first like a belt that you are in high level in jiu-jitsu. So to be honest with you, I have never met people who has a Brazilian jiu-jitsu purple belt and doesn't know how to fight, and actually they are really good at jiu-jitsu already. So purple belt, first like a high level belt, and I think you should be having already a little bit your own game when you start to come on the purple belt level. And again, also in a purple belt level, I was doing a lot of those same stuff what I was doing in a blue belt. I did a lot of attacking with the baseball choke and stuff like that, so repetition. And also because still purple belt is still you need to experience new stuff. So for example, you need to try a lot of stuff, and don't be afraid of mistakes. If some blue belt catches you, white belt catches you, you don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. So in a purple belt level, you need to kind of explore the art and do kind of funky stuff, have a kimura grip and do front roll, and let's see what it's going to lead you and stuff like that. So be kind of open-minded when you are in a purple belt level, and purple belt to brown belt, that's also going to be a huge step. For me, it took like almost exactly 2 years. But when I started my social media videos when I was a purple belt. So that was starting point for my social media career, so can I say. But for me, it was 2 years purple belt, but I was training all the time. And then after 2 years of purple belt, then I got my brown belt, and brown belt already, I think most of the brown belts, they are already really good, and they are almost in the same level in some areas of the game than black belts, but they cannot execute, so high level. So brown belt, for me, it was a great belt, because you can still kind of explore and stuff like that. And brown belt is gone now, and now it's time for black belt. I was brown belt. I was like how long? Let's see, 2 years and 4 months maybe. And now I got my black belt on Saturday. So now I was thinking about what I'm gonna do now. What is changing, Miko? Is something changing when you're a black belt? Absolutely nothing. Everything is gonna be the same. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the cycle again. So basically, I'm gonna start to kind of learn those techniques what I started to learn when I was a white belt. So I'm gonna do the basic movements, what I have my own blueprint. I'm gonna dive those back in. I'm gonna try to master those even better. I'll go basic movement, I'll go scissor sweep, I'll go triangle, sambar, bam bam bam. I'm gonna start the cycle again, and then when I have some holes in my game, I'm gonna dive in those also. But basically nothing is gonna change. We're gonna train it the same way. Everything is the same. But I think I want to kind of start the cycle again, and just it's amazing, because now I'm a black belt, and I'm gonna start to again try to do, for example, I teach scissor sweep every week, but now I'm gonna dive even more deeper into that. Is there any way how I can make this even better? All the micro adjustments, everything. I want to make it fucking perfect scissor sweep, and let's see how it goes. But I love this idea that I'm gonna start the cycle again. But here we are, first video as a black belt, and do I feel different? No. But do I feel good? Yes. I'm a fucking humble and proud at the same time. And guys, remember, the most important thing is that black belt is just a white belt who never gave up. Okay guys, go train, remember to smile, and jiu-jitsu never dies, baby. Boom!